I found this nice shady spot with a picnic table right here by the water, so this is where we're going to pull this off. Now, before we get started, do me a favor, take a second to like this video, and then when we're done, maybe watch a few more of my videos. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing. My channel's been growing like a weed over the last year, and I can't thank you guys enough for being a huge part of it. I really do appreciate it. Now what you're here for, today's video, my new ultralight combo. I do plan on going over the rod, the reel, and the line because all three is what make up this combo. I am going to focus a little less time on the line because unfortunately, while doing my research for this video, I discovered that it's been discontinued by the manufacturer. Go figure, because it's freaking awesome. You find something you like and they discontinue it. But alright, what you're all here for, let's get started with the rod. Daiwa Presso. Now this particular one is the 5-foot version, with a lure rating of 1/32 to 1/8 of an ounce and a line rating of 1 to 4 pounds. This rod came in right at $59.99. I got this from Fish USA. Free shipping, but there was a $5 oversized shipment fee or something along those lines, which generally I don't mind, but I've noticed a trend lately. Companies seem to be shipping rods in these flimsy cardboard boxes. Now, fortunately, there was no damage to the rod, but they used to ship them in cardboard tubes, which even then I had a few arrive, in 2 pieces when they weren't supposed to be a 2-piece rod. Luckily, again, this one made it okay, but I think if you're going to charge me extra to ship something, ship it in a better tube, but that's not what we're here for. We're talking about the rod. Not only is this thing just a slick looking rod, because it really is. You got the matte black with the orange, the gloss black with the orange, this cork on the reel seat, forward and back, and you'll even notice right here, where that blank would normally be exposed, that has some cork on it. Even some carbon fiber right there on the hood. Just absolutely, for looks, this thing gets an A+ right away. Talking about some of the components, the cork itself, they don't really brag about the cork on their website, so I'm guessing it's nothing, super cool, but I can tell you from having it in hand, it's super comfortable. It's not brittle, it's very, soft, it's very supple, but it's definitely not brittle. I don't feel like it's going to break apart on me or anything like that. Maybe some cork conditioning would not be, out of the question. The placement of the hook keeper here is absolutely perfect. Right up in front of the reel seat, which is where it belongs. We can argue about that in the comment section if you'd like, but this is where it freaking belongs. I know some companies will put it back here, and sometimes the way the rod is designed, that really is the only option. I get it, but that's where my hand is going, and the hook should be nowhere near where my hand is going. I really appreciate it right there, and it's the open style hook keeper too, which again is really a good thing. This particular rod is something I will mention that differs from the website. The website claims it has 7 guides, but I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a tip. So 5 and a tip on the 5-foot length model. Now maybe the other models, because this thing does come in a pretty good variety of configurations, but this particular model, 5 and a tip. This is a fast action rod, and I will say it is fairly true to that fast action. The bend you're going to get is more towards the top of the rod, and so far it's really performed well. I've pulled bass and brim on this thing so far. Brim or brim, but the bass, I'd say the biggest one I caught so far on this was just slightly over a pound. I didn't weigh them and just kind of going by, just my experience with fish. I'm going to say a pound, maybe just slightly over, and this rod handled it just fine. All right. That's pretty much all I can say about the rod right now. I'm really racking my brain, honestly, trying to think of a few cons. Because if I give you nothing but pros, that's just not realistic, and I get that. So if I have to, and really I'm digging for this, we'll say the cork might not be the best quality cork you're going to get. Is it awesome for $60? Absolutely. I think it's fantastic cork for $60. And that little carbon fiber ring, man, that's just sweet looking. Maybe one more con. When you get a reel connected to this rod, you'll notice right here you got these exposed threads, and those are still exposed once the reel's attached. Initially, I was concerned that maybe my pinky might get on those, or the flesh of my hand might rest on those threads, and it would be uncomfortable. After about, like I said, 3 outings so far, and maybe 8-9 hours total of actually holding the rod, I haven't had that issue, not once. I thought it might be uncomfortable. It wasn't. Overall, this is an incredibly comfortable rod, and the combo itself, I'm very, very impressed with. It's probably the most comfortable one I've ever put together. And speaking of combos, being the rod is part 1, let's talk about the reel. With all the spinning reels out there on the market and all the big brands, personally, I feel like Okuma doesn't get the credit they deserve in the spinning reel market. Everybody's always out there with their Shimanos and their Daiwas, and I own those as well. Yeah, Okuma doesn't quite get the credit it deserves, though. This is my 5th or 6th Okuma reel, and they've been nothing but quality. Maybe it's just the ones I've been buying, but this is not a high-end reel. The Okuma Samar. I got the C10 size. This is a 6-bearing system, 5-speed reel, and has a max drag of about 7 pounds. Again, pretty slick looking reel and very small. I don't have very large hands. When I buy fishing gloves, I buy a size large, okay? So we'll keep that in mind when I'm doing this. So you can see this is not a very large reel. I can put the whole thing in my hands and it basically disappears. It's a 1,000 size. Like I said, it's a C10 for Okuma. That's just their language, I guess, for 1,000 size. Got a pretty good spool for what it is. I've got mine spooled up with 4-pound line, but we'll get to that in a minute. Very, very, very smooth action. And the drag, while maybe not, you know, the best quality drag you're ever going to find, for what I've been fishing so far, it's worked perfectly. In fact, I actually had to tighten it up a little bit. I had it set a little loose the first couple of fish that hit it, and I just wasn't able to get a decent hook set. This reel is going to come in anywhere from $35 to $40 on Amazon. That seems to be the general price I've been able to find. I've owned this since Christmas. It was actually a Christmas gift from my mother. But I was looking around on Amazon. They're around 30 to 40 bucks at any given point in time. All right, so now I've put the reel back on the rod so you can see what I'm talking about. Right there, you can see the exposed threads, which is what I initially thought was going to be an issue. Now I'll spin this around. I'm right-handed. So generally, when I'm holding it, I'll usually split my fingers like this and kind of come right around the stem of the reel like that. As you can see, again, size large hands, right? You don't see a whole lot of flesh touching those threads. Now there is, I don't know if you can see it or not, the flesh of my hand here is resting on those threads, but it's not uncomfortable at all. This cork right here, we'll go back to the rod for a second. What an awesome touch, because that is super comfortable and it makes the rod super sensitive. But as you can see, the C10 size reel fits perfect with this rod. Let me show you the balance point of this thing. It's basically right here at the front of the reel. Look at that. I mean, that is absolutely perfect. The breeze that I'm sitting in right now is actually moving it, kind of a pivot on my finger. It is just super light, super well balanced, and super comfortable to fish with. I've seen this combo on YouTube, some other videos, and a lot of people were pairing it with a Daiwa, Revros, maybe it was a Laguna, I don't remember. And I'm sure that is an absolutely fantastic combo. But this Okuma, to me, just pairs perfect with this rod. Now let's talk about the line. All right, now again, unfortunately, this has been discontinued by Berkley, so you are going to be able to find it here and there, but generally you're going to find it on eBay going for about double what it should go for. But this is the Berkley Nanofill. It's basically like a braid, and I'm not going to go too deep again into the making of it because, again, they quit making it. If you can find it, again, it was 20 bucks when it was out there, regular price. Found it on sale for 10. Researching for this video, I did find a few spools on eBay going for like 40, 50 bucks. Awesome line. I don't think I'd pay 40, 50 bucks for it. However, if you're able to pick this stuff up for 20 bucks a spool, do yourself a favor and do it. Don't be cheap like I was. Get yourself. And since this is discontinued, I'm going to need an alternative. This ain't going to last me forever. So in the comments, if you know about this stuff and you have a line you suggest that I try, please let me know down in the comments because I will be shopping around for an alternative. All right, guys, one last look at my $100 budget ultralight combo. And all right, I get it. I've been throwing that word budget around a little bit. It's a $100 combo. So saying the word budget might ruffle some feathers, but 100 bucks is a good chunk to spend on a combo. Don't get me wrong. But if you're gonna build a combo for a specialized purpose, like ultralight, you know, you're going specifically for basically one style with a combo, and you're gonna buy the rod separate from the reel, if you can do it properly for 100 bucks, that falls into the budget category all day long. Because again, to break it down, $60 rod, $40 reel, sometimes you can find them both on sale, and the reel I've seen at, I want to say as low as like 32 bucks on Amazon. So you could actually do a little better than 100, but generally speaking, for 100 bucks, the way this thing performs, absolutely fantastic. And combined with that particular line, I've been able to launch a trout magnet just as far as I've been able to launch some of the larger crappie jig heads. So again, I can't say enough good things about this combo. If you have the chance to get one, I would absolutely suggest it. You can swap a different reel on it if Okuma is not your thing, but the rod itself, absolutely. And again, compared with this reel, I think it's an absolute fantastic combo. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching another video. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please take a second to like. I really would appreciate that. Apparently, the more you like the video, it tells YouTube, hey, this is worth promoting, and they'll push it out to more people and maybe get my channel in front of some new eyes. Again, when we're done with this, maybe watch some more videos, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Hell, it's free. Why not, right? Thank you guys again so much. I really do appreciate it. I'll see y'all in the next one.